Well, a couple of years ago they removed the last of the old town jetty in Albany, and I went along to an auction and bought a truckload of Karri beams. They'd pulled them out and had them all up there, and I went and put in a bid and got a whole truckload and brought them home, and I've had them sit in my place since, and they were part of the inspiration for this work. Yeah.
Can you describe how you'll see it when it sits on Strickland Street in Denmark?
Well, these big Karri supported what, the carriages and stuff went out on the jetty. So these are the massive big Karri supports. They're, 350 millimetres deep and 150 millimetres wide, and some of them span, 7 and 8 metres. So they're these massive beams. And I've taken 4 of them, and I'm standing them up in different angles. They're all one sculpture, but I'm standing them up at a couple of different angles. And up the top, I've got these cross beams that came out of the wharf too. And onto them, I'm getting signage cut out of steel, and into that sign, I'm putting a local poet, Andy Ducker, who passed away just about a year ago. So I'm using some of his words in and putting that in, and the words. I was trying to get to the essence of what is Denmark, and it's really hard to what is Denmark, and a lot of it's the natural beauty of Denmark, and so I've kind of gone for this natural beauty, the inlet, the Karri, and then I've gone for part of the history of Denmark, and that was the old the mill site where the sculpture will be placed. It's an old mill site, early mill site from millers, the big timber millers that were in Denmark.
So you've actually got a bit of a deadline as well. It's set to go up on June 30.
It has to be up by June the 30th. There's a funding constraint, so they want it up by then. And it has been a very tight deadline and a bit mad, really. But
how is the progress? I'm
very confident it's going to go in on budget and on time. So I just put everything else aside, and I'm lucky in my job that I can. I'm self-employed, so I just put all my other work aside and just went for it, So and it's been progressing very smoothly, so I'm very happy with it.
The passerby that goes past and looks at it, what would you hope they'd take from that sculpture?
I'd hope they'd be inclined to wonder what is that, because it doesn't automatically explain itself. So they'd be drawn down towards it. And I'm intending to have a small plaque with some information about, the site and the inspiration behind the work, which they could read from across the street, because it's in the roundabout, obviously, and there's a street in between. So they'd look at it from a distance and reflect on, just something about the history of Denmark. So